Hey guys, welcome to Check Your Leader TV. Today we're getting on with our game of O Group. I'm probably not going to show every single dice roll in the game because I want to keep it moving along as quickly as I can. I'm not going to show the rolls. I'm just going to, off camera, I'll do the rolls for the initial deployment for both the Brits and the Germans, and then we'll start straight away. I'll just some brief comments on the forces I'm using for this game. If you've got a copy of the rules, O Group, the scenario in there, the assault on Creusot, I'm using exactly the same forces for the British and the Germans. What also I've changed is the map, and I've only changed it up a little bit. It's still predominantly a road going down through a village. In this case, however, there's some high ground on the German left-hand side of the road, and you'll see it's somewhat different. But the orders of battle are exactly the same, and I will put them up here so you can have a look at them. And so, with that in mind, essentially, what we have is a British battalion of 3 companies, each with 3 platoons. They have 2 platoons or troops of Shermans, and in each troop there is a Firefly. They also have a Vickers medium machine gun that can be dismounted from a carrier. They have a Piat team, and they also have a artillery observer, obviously an artillery forward observation officer in direct support, who can provide 2 artillery missions. For the Germans, they have a battalion of 3 companies. 1 company is already depleted, so it only has 2 platoons. They have 2 medium machine gun MG 42s in a sustained fire role, but obviously they could be parceled out to any company they want. They have a 50mm and a 75mm anti-tank gun each. They have 2 Panzer Schreck teams, but they can substitute 1 Panzer Schreck team with a sniper. They have an artillery observer supporting them with 1 fire mission, and they have a Panther tank also in support. I think I've covered off on everything there for the Germans. Pretty sure I have. So with that said, I'm going to do the deployment rolls. You'll have a look what they are, but you won't watch me doing them. I'll get the troops deployed and then we'll start. Now, just in relation to ambushes, the way I work it, I roll the dice and determine how many units the Germans can have in ambush. And in this case, they can place 3 units in ambush. So I then produce 3 tokens per possible ambushed unit, and I just randomly place them out on the table. Once those areas are reconnoitered, if it's done successfully, I flip them over and reveal if there's anything there. If I want to, from the perspective of defender, think this would be a great place for me to spring the ambush from, I then flip it over, and if there's a unit there, I can place it down and launch the ambush. So in short, we have an ambush marker here, 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 here. We have another one back here. We also have an ambush marker in here, 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here. So that's the 9 ambush markers. Okay, so we've done the deployment dice. We've rolled all them. For interdiction, the Germans have a turn of interdiction on them. They also lost one of their platoons from 3rd company, so that's now a single platoon company, and they also lost the sniper. So they selected a Panzer Schreck and a sniper, and the sniper has been lost. They rolled 2 1s. The Brits rolled 1 1, so 1 turn of interdiction. For ambush markers, I've already discussed that. For the Brits, they've got 6 combat patrols and 2 on-table units. And the on-table units that they've got is they've got the Bren-mounted medium machine gun. The Vickers-mounted medium machine gun, and it's just deployed here. And they've brought on a troop of Sherman tanks to support 1st Company's advance as per their plan. Just an overall scheme of maneuver. The plan for the British is They'll have 2 companies up with 1 in reserve. They have the boundaries. The left side of the road is first company. The right side of the road is second company. The plan is to push hard on both flanks, and then this has been deemed the best country for armor operations. Once they've secured this area here, they'll consolidate on this field off this road with their armor, and third company will also consolidate here as well, and then it will be a concerted push on this flank. It's deemed that this is the better avenue of advance rather than trying to come in through here. They will then secure this side of the village here, and once this side of the village is secured, they'll then move in and try to take either this sector, or this one, which will achieve their victory conditions. So that's the British scheme of manoeuvre. Right, let's get on with it. The Germans, like I said, they were able to get 3 units on ambush and 4 combat patrols. So they've got 1 combat patrol here, they've got another one here, they've got 1 here, and they've got another one in this village sector here. Okay, as for forward observers, the Brits have their forward observer located in this building here, and the Germans have positioned their forward observer in here. Good fields of view, if somewhat vulnerable. Now we're going to go with turn 1, and we'll do the first orders roll. So both sides end up with 1 HQ order each and 6 orders, and both had 2 1s. So no hesitant. So now we're going to roll for initiative. The Brits will be the white dice. They have a +1. Okay, so the Germans have rolled 9. The Brits have rolled 5. Goes up to 6. Germans have the initiative. So right from the get-go, the Germans are going large. Fire mission division from the forward observer up here towards the Shermans on the ridge. Okay, 4. Okay, so he's missed, but it's not a double 1, but he won't get the mission. So that is 2 orders used up. They've got 5 left. So the Germans are going to try and place a combat patrol out here, but the interdicting artillery might prevent that. So 4 or more. Yep, okay, so they didn't get through. They're going to try a second time. Okay, so that combat patrol's got out. So that's 2 orders used. That's another 2 orders used up. And also the second company is going to try and put a combat patrol out here. That's been stopped. So try again. So that's 5 orders used up so far by the Germans. They're going to keep 2 more for reaction. So now it switches over to the Brits. Okay, so the Brits gave all their orders out. They've got these guys to fire, and they've neutralised this combat patrol with 9 dice. Only just, mind you. And so everybody else has been given moves. So it's 5 inches, 6, 7, 10 plus 2. These guys are moving here. These guys are moving here. These guys are moving towards the house, and these guys are moving up to this point here. And this company headquarters, they're moving to the centre here. They take the 2 highest, 12 inches. They've got their skates on. So I'll do all that movement. After all that movement, this is where the Brits have advanced to. There's nothing there that the Germans really want to react to. It would require unmasking ambushes and stuff like that, and there's nothing there that's worth doing that for at this point. So that ends turn 1. Regroup phase. No one's rallying. The Brits can do 2 moves over on their right, which they will. They'll move this combat patrol towards that field, and they're going to go 8 inches, 7 inches, which gets them to there. So the Germans, for their part, they're choosing not to do anything, and there's nothing to regroup. So that ends turn 1. Let's roll dice for turn 2. Turn 2 orders. So the Brits have got 5 company orders, 5 orders. The Germans picked up 6. The British got an extra 2 headquarter orders. So the Germans have got an extra 1, so it's 6 plays 4, so the Brits will have a +2. The Germans have rolled an 11. The Brits have rolled 9, which goes up to an 11, but the Germans win ties. So the Germans have the initiative again. So it'll be 7 company orders to the British 5. Again, the Germans are going large, 5 mission division. And they've got a 9. It's a 9, so 5 mission division on a 9. It's a heavy artillery mission. So now we'll roll for accuracy. 6, okay, it's harassing fire. Okay, dice, obviously hitting on 4s. Miss, miss, miss. So lots of 6s. So 5 hits. The Brits are going to be saving on 3+ because it's harassing. 1, 2, 3 saves, so 2 hits. So that's the Firefly taken care of. Now just the standard M4, hitting on 4+, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, and again saving on 3+. And they have saved, they saved 4 out of the 5 there, so 1 hit on the M4. So the next thing they're going to do is they're going to deploy a combat patrol in this BUA here. So that's an order done there. And they'll put a combat patrol out here. So that's another order. And that will leave them 4, which they'll use for any reactions. Okay, so we're going to go for a 1D rally here. Rally and shoot. So let's see how that goes. 5. Okay, so that takes that off. So he's going to fly from here to this combat patrol. 1 hit. He saves on a 3+. And he saves. Now this Firefly is going to attempt exactly the same thing. A 1D6 rally. 6, he's rallied. So they'll go from 2 to 1. And then he fires with just 1 dice. 4's a hit. And he's failed to save, so. And so now for the remaining 3 orders, they're going to advance into here, advance in this direction, and they'll dismount the medium machine gun into the house. So these guys first, they can go that way. Okay, so that's going to be 7 inches. These guys. 7 inches. And these guys are simply going to dismount and move into, yeah. So they're going to set up in this farmhouse. Again, there's nothing there that Germans wanted to react to. So in the regroup phase, the Germans have 1 regroup action, and they are not going to do anything at this point. For the British, they're going to move this combat patrol here, directly forward. Okay, 11 inches. They're really scooting along, and they'll move the company commander up as far as he can go. So it's rapid for him. Okay, he's going to move 6 inches forward. So that's all the movement taken care of. That's the end of turn 2. Let's move on to turn 3. All right, turn 3 order roll. The Brits have gained a hesitant company. So 1, 2 odds, it's going to be first company. Evens, it'll be second or Bravo company. Okay, so evens, Bravo company has gone hesitant. The Germans, they've managed to gain 2 battalion orders, so they're now up to a full bank of 6, and they have 7 company orders. They've got 6 company orders, and because of those 3 ones, they've got the hesitant company over here. So we'll know now. Roll for initiative, and the British have the initiative for the first time in the game. 7 plays 4. The Brits do not want to call in an artillery fire mission. What they do want to do is push this combat patrol. So they're going to push it out as far as they can possibly go. 5 inches, not good enough. So they'll get to there. And then they're going to give another order to these guys here and get them to push forward also. 9, that's much better. Now, well, 1 dice rally and move for the Firefly. He's failed, so he's just going to move. Actually, no, he'll rally. He'll take that off. Now, the company commander is going to push. 3d6, taking the higher 2. Okay, 10 inches. That's not bad for him. Well, this should elicit some kind of reaction from the Germans. So the Brits are going to save their remaining 3 orders for reactions. So we'll go over to the Germans now. Okay, so for the first order, they're going to deploy onto this combat patrol a German platoon with an attached MG42, and then they will open fire on this combat patrol here. Before they do, this medium machine gun is going to attempt to react fire. So 4 up, and they'll shoot first. 6, okay. So that's a medium machine gun, 6 dice. The Germans, the Germans are in cover. So they'll need a spotting dice. So it's 3 hits, unspotted. So it's just going to be harassing fire, and the Germans will save on 3s. Well, they've saved 2, so I'll take 1 point. I'll take 1 point of shock. So now these guys will fire. Now they're normally 6, but they're shooting at a combat patrol. That's -2. They deployed. That's -2, and they've got a point of shock. That's another -1. So they've got 1 dice, 1d6 at the combat patrol. Let's see how that goes. Okay, hitting on a 4, but they've got re-rolls, and they've hit. This combat patrol will save on 3+. And they've failed. So it was only 1 little blurt of MG42 fire, and he's gone. With the next 2 orders, the Germans put out 2 combat patrols. Next thing they're going to do is the company commander is going to give an order to these guys to fire again onto the medium machine gun, the Vickers. So the order goes in, and that's all it costs them, just 1. Actually, I read the table backwards. That should have cost the Germans another 2 orders. These guys are going to rally and shoot. They've failed the rally, so it's going to be just shooting. It's going to be -2, -4, plus the rally fail, -5. So it's just going to be 1 dice. Actually, they would be firing with 2 dice, but it's still, it makes sense as far as I'm concerned. It's better. It's a better option to just remove the shock. Well, now they'll call in battalion mortars, and they'll call it in on the farmhouse. Okay, the accuracy roll. Okay, it's just harassing. So they'll lose 1 dice from the HE. They get 1 hit. Mortar will save on 3+. Okay, so no hits. Just the regroup phase now, and the Brits are going to push with this combat patrol here. 10 inches. And that's all the Brits are doing, and the Germans aren't doing anything. Command dice for turn 4. Both sides picked up 8 orders. Initiative roll now. It's 5 each. Germans win ties. Germans have the initiative. Well, the Germans will open with their mortars because other than combat patrols, there's nothing to shoot at. So they might as well stomp the farmhouse again. Germans will do their accuracy roll first. 7, so it's zeroed in. Normally they would hit with 5 dice, but because it's a hard cover, it's only 4. 2, well, I've got 2, 1, 2, 2. Not a single hit. Oh well, that's one already used up. Okay, in an effort to seize the initiative and take the fight to the Brits, the Germans have revealed one of their ambush units. It's the 75mm Pack 40 that was located in the orchard. So they're now going to engage the British Army armour on the ridge. Now the British armour here is going to attempt to react fire. Now I'm not too sure if this is correct by the rules, but I've had a close look at page 51 and it says if a unit, an ambush unit moves or fires, it loses its ambush status. So, so a react fire to any unit that moves or fires, which is they're doing, these guys have the opportunity to react fire. So 4+, oh, well, they failed anyway, so it's a moot point, but they have lost their order and will lose 1 when they, will have a negative when they shoot back, if they shoot back. So now the Pack 40 will engage these guys. Okay, so it's a 7 to hit with a spotting dice because the tanks may be hull down. All right, so it's a 9 that hit, but it's obscured because they have not rolled a 4+. Okay, so we've got a hit. The armour value of the British tank is 7 and the AP strike of the Pack 40 is 9. So the Brits will be rolling with a -2. A -2 to this roll. Okay, so they've rolled an 11. So that's going to be 9 on the obscured line. No effect. So either they've missed or it's bounced. A glancing blow. Actually, missed opportunity fire. In other words, you missed your opportunity. It's a -2, not a -1. So combined HE is normally 9 with these guys, but it will be down to 7 because of the failed opportunity fire, and they need a spotting dice. So they failed to spot, but they did hit with 5. So it's 5 hits on the Germans. So 5 hits on the Germans, saving on 3+. 1, 2, 3 saves, so they take 2 hits, so they have 2 points of shock. So now the Germans in the rough are going to engage with their sustained fire machine gun at this guy. These guys, however, are going to attempt to opportunity fire, and they failed. So these guys are shooting at them. Normally 6 dice, they lose 2, and they need a spotter. But they do have 3 re-rolls. Not that they need them, because they all hit. But they didn't spot. So the Brits are saving on 3+. And they've taken 1 hit. So the Brits, they're returning fire. They normally have 6. Failed opportunity, so they drop 2, and the shock drop 3. So it's 3 dice with a spotting dice. So they did spot them, and they did hit them twice. So the Germans have 2 shock, and they're saving on 4+. And they've saved them both. So the company commander is going to put in another order to get them to fire again onto, and it's gone through, but it's going to cost him another 1. Shooting from here into here, it's 4 dice with 3 re-rolls, not spotted, 2 hits, but they've got 3 re-rolls, so they can roll these 2 again, and another hit. So 3 hits on these guys here, not spotted, saving on 3s. They'll take another hit, so they are now got 2 hits on them. Okay, so the next order is a deployment order, and they will fire at this combat patrol. So it's 6 -2 for the deployment, -2 for the combat patrol with a spotter. Spotted and 1 hit. So the combat patrol will save on 4+. 6, they've saved. Okay, now that leaves 3 orders for the Germans, and they're going to save them for reaction.
So beginning first, the Brits' first turn, the first thing they do is calling in mortars on these guys here. And we roll for accuracy. Okay, it's going to be harassing fire.
So the beaten zone falls on both the gun and the combat patrol. So we'll do the gun first. 1, 2, 3 on the gun. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the combat patrol. Saving rolls for the gun. Saving on 3+. They save them all. Saving rolls on the combat patrol. So only the combat patrol was driven off by the mortar. The Brits are going to deploy a platoon off this combat patrol here. They're deployed, and now they're going to fire on the pack. So 4 dice. It's normally 6. They lose 2 for the deployment. With the spotting dice, 1 hit and not spotted. Germans save on 4, and they save. So the next order from the Brits is for the Shermans to fire at the pack 40. The pack will attempt to react. So it's a 4 up. No, the pack has failed to react. So these guys combined, the HE factor is 9. No negatives, but they do have a spotting dice. They have unspotted, but they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits on the Germans, and the Germans will save on 4+. And they've just taken 1 more hit. So they're now suppressed, which means they cannot fire back. Now, the company order commander is going to put an order in, tell them to hit them again. Okay, so that's going to cost him another 1. So here we go again. Spotted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Saving on 4+. Miss and a kill. They didn't save a single one. So that pack 40 has been destroyed. Because he were just out of range to engage these in react fire, so there couldn't be anything going on there either. So that's all the Brit orders done. The Germans still have 2 reaction orders that they can use, but there's nothing to react to. So now we'll go to the regroup phase. So for the Brits, in their regroup phase, they're going to push this combat patrol as far forward as they can, and they'll deploy off this combat patrol here. So let's see how far forward these guys go first. Big handy back dice. Okay, 12 inches. So now, command rolls, turn 5. Okay, so now we do the initiative roll. Both are on 6 HQ orders. Both have rolled 9. Germans have the initiative again. So for the first 2 orders the Germans are going to spend, they're going to call in a fire mission on this British platoon. So accuracy, it's 9, so it's zeroed in. 5 dice, hitting on 4s, 2 hits, and the Brits are saving on 4s. They've saved 1, so they've taken 1 shock. So the next order the Germans will use, they're going to deploy 1st Platoon Bravo Company on here. So the Brits will attempt to react fire to that deployment, and they're unsuccessful. So that's normally 6. They lose 2 for the deployment. 4 dice. 3 hits. As these guys are going to save on 4+. They've saved 1, so they are now suppressed. Well, now that he's suppressed, he cannot react fire because suppressed units cannot fire at that range anyway. So that order has been used up, and they've got nothing for it. Continuing with the Germans now. Well, the German battalion company commander here is going to issue another order, and it'll cost him an extra 2 all up. So they're going to shoot and then move. So they'll drop 2 dice. That's cocked. They've got 1 hit so far. 1 hit. All right. So that is a kill roll on the Brits. They'll save on a 3+. 2. Oh, okay. So they've lost a section. The Germans then will bug out to their rear. 8 inches directly back, which might get them back to the village. So 8 inches got them from there just back into the village. So that turned out to be a bit of a disaster move. What I was trying to achieve was to get them down if they got the initiative, fired at the Germans, and hopefully caught this platoon. But the reverse has happened. The exact opposite of what they were trying to achieve happened. So, continuing on with the Germans. Well, the next thing the Germans are going to do is they're going to tell the machine gun equipped platoon to engage this building here. 6 dice, but they're going to lose 2 because they are shooting into hard cover. But they do have 3 rerolls. And I'll need 2 of them. They're unspotted, but they've got 4 hits on these guys. So 4 hits saving on 3s. And they've saved them all. The Germans will now use the rest of their orders to react. All right, so the Brits are going to start with the fire mission division, and they're going to place the round right here, so the beaten zone catches these 2 platoons. So let's see how we go. I've got Maggie rolling my dice. Okay, Mags, let's see what you can do. Roll the dice. 7. Okay, that's let's see what that is. That's a medium battery or 5.5-inch guns. So now, Maggie, roll a couple of the dice again. Let's see how accurate we are. Yep, roll them. Let's see how you do. 4. Well, it's 7. It's zeroed in. Well done, kid. All right.
7.
Okay, so 7 dice. The 5.5-inch rounds come crashing in on. We'll do these guys first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits. And then, hang on, kid. And then, oh, you want to roll these for the next platoon along?
Yeah.
All right, here you go. 7 dice. All right. Well, that one's cocked, so you can roll that one again. 3. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on those guys. So it's...
That's definitely more than 6.
Yeah. 4 there. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So now Jerry's got a save. All right, so now we're rolling for saves, Maggie. Roll them in there. Should be obvious who's who. All right, what have we got? Well, they didn't. There's 2 casualties on the white, and 1, 2.
There's a lot of 6s.
Yeah, 2 casualties. So both platoons will take 2 hits. So now the Brits are going to fire. They've issued an order. They're going to fire with their Vickers into those Germans. It's 5 dice because they've got a point of shock on them. But they'll need a spotting dice, obviously. Not spotted. And only 2 hits. And Jerry will be saving on 3+. And they save both of them. The company commander steps up. He's within 18. He's going to give them an order to hit them again, but this time do a rally and shoot. 6, they're passed, so they'll rally down to 1. Okay, nothing changes, however. It is still 5 dice with a spotter. Not spotted, again, 2 hits. Jerry's saving on 4+. Save them both again. I should roll to see how much extra the orders the company order costs him. It's another 1, actually. So expensive for no appreciative gain. 2 orders there. The Germans are going to react fire to that fire, these guys. it will cost them an extra 2. So that's expensive. They'll fire back. Normally they're firing with 6. But they are shooting to heavy cover, so they'll down to 3, and they've got shock down, down to 4, down to 3. But they will have a re-roll. They have 2 shock on them at the moment. So hit and a hit. Is it spotted? Nope. So the Vickers will be saving on 3+, and they've saved both. The Germans have 1 order left. Right. The Brits are going to do a rapid move from here into the woods. They can re-roll 1. So that's 9 inches all up, which gets them onto the edge of that orchard. The Germans can't react to that because they're outside of 14 inches. The next order, maybe the final order, will be the Shermans to fire onto these guys. So it's 9 dice total, obviously with the spotting dice. Not spotted, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits on those Germans there. And they will be saving on, because they're not spotted, they'll be saving on 3+. Okay. 3 saves, but 3, so a kill roll, a suppression, a kill roll, and a kill. So they're suppressed and they've lost 1 section. Or in their case of the Germans, a squad. Brits have no intention of doing anything else this turn, so we're now into the regroup phase. The Germans, they're going to give a regroup order to these guys here, which is to rally, and so we'll do that now. So it's a 3d6 rally on these chaps. 1, 2, so they're down to 1 shock. The Brits have got 2 regroup orders. They're going to do a 3 dice rally, 3 dice rally on these guys. They've just rallied 1 off. So that's 2, and they've got 1 reorg order left. And they're going to push this combat patrol over here, out this way. 2d6, and they're going 7 inches. We're trying to outflank the Germans. Beginning of turn 6, the Germans have lost 2 squads or sections. The British have lost 1. Right, one missed opportunity for the Germans, 2 for the Brits. That means the Brits have 7 orders. The Germans have 8. Germans winning ties, obviously. But the British have the initiative, 4-7. We're going to go with Fire Mission Division again. So good old Sheldrake is on the blower. Hello, 1. This is 1-9er. Fire Mission Division. Whoa, 12. That's gonna hurt. Okay, so that's Jabbo's air support. Obviously, the artillery were busy doing something else, so in comes the close air support. So 3 targets. They're going to strike both of the German sections in the squads in the open, and then they're going to strike the guys in the built-up area. So let's hit these guys here with a +1 modifier. So that is going to be a 9 on them. So that's accurate. +1 modifier for these guys. Well, actually, I'm just going to give them a neat modifier because wheat field's one thing, but that's another. So 7, they're zeroed in. And finally, the Germans in the village. -1 is going to be 3. So that's going to be harassing, if I'm not mistaken. So Jabbos will hit them with 9d6 each. Left to right, first 9.
1, 2, 3. 3 hits. These guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 hits on these guys. They're in a village, so I guess it's -1 for cover. 1, 2 hits on the Germans in the village. I might have got that wrong in regards to cover, but hey, that's the way it is. And the ones in the village are saving on 3s. And everyone else is saving. I don't think they save. I don't think these guys can save at all. But I will check. I will consult the book of words. The only guys that get saves are these guys. So 2 saving on 3+. And that's cocked. They've saved them all. So the guys in the village ducked. But these 4 guys in the open are going to get creamed. They've already lost a squad. They're going to lose another one now if we roll a 5 or a 6. No, so that's okay. Was it the machine gun? I think if it's 1 or 2, it's the machine gun. 4, no, it's not. Over yonder, 3 is going to be 1, 2, and the third one is a kill roll, which they will get with a 5 or a 6. 2, no, but they're suppressed. So out of all that, we only managed to kill a single solitary German squad. Now the Shermans are going to hit him again. Same target, 9 dice, and a spotter. Oh no, they're suppressed, so they can't be spotted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and the Germans will be saving on 3+. One, 2, 3 saves. Oh, sorry, 4 saves. So the Brits get a kill roll at them. And they've taken out another squad. And that is the first FUBAR for the Germans. Now they have to do a morale roll to see if they stick about. And they failed. So they've lost another. That platoon has routed. That triggers a command crisis roll for the Germans. Okay, so if I now roll 2 dice. If I roll a 2, then nope. Second guess. Yes, okay. The Germans have lost a battalion order, or HQ order. They're now down to 5. They're carrying a FUBAR, which means they'll only be rolling 8 order dice. Moving on. Okay, the next order is the Vickers. When you've got a man down, kick the hell out of him. So they're going to pour the fire into this suppressed German squad. Normally 6, losing 1 for the shock, down to 5. Only 2 hits. Geez, that. Okay, 2 hits. The Germans are saving on 3+. Oh, they've saved 1, so they get a kill roll. The Brits get a kill roll on them. 5 or 6. Oh, I thought I saw a 5. Nothing there. This company commander is going to put the order in for the Vickers to hit him again. How many orders does it cost him? 1. Another 2, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be expensive. Another 5. This Vickers is proving to be a huge disappointment. But not this time. 4 hits. 4 hits. 3+. Okay, so they saved 2, but one's a potential kill and the second one is a kill. So they're going to lose another squad. 1, 2, it's the MG. No, it's not the MG. It's another squad. All right, so the Germans are getting close to their second FUBAR. So the next the next British order is going to go in, and it's going to be to move the combat patrol into that area there. Uh, 5 inches in. Another order is to deploy off that combat patrol. with another platoon and then shoot these Germans here. So it's 4 dice. So 4 dice and a spotting dice. Not spotted, only a single hit. And the Germans save it. They do. Now the Brits are going to dive into the battalion orders and use one to mess up this situation here. They'll do a 3 dice rally. Let's see how they go. Well, they've only succeeded with 1, but still, it's better than nothing. So they're down to 1. They didn't want to move these guys because they didn't want to trigger anything that could shoot at them. Those guys in the village are out of range anyway, so I'm pretty sure they are. That's 12 inches to there, so clearly another 2 inches is not going to reach. So that's it. Now over to the Brits, sorry, to the Germans, and they really need to do something desperate here. It's probably time to bring on the big cat. They're going to spend 2 orders, bring the German Panther on here and try to get it up onto this little pimple. Let's see how far she goes. Oh, very cautious advance. 4 inches. And that's going to achieve nothing. The hill is actually blinding any possibility of it engaging a target from there. It's just not going the German way at the moment. Might have to give a company order to him to push forward a bit harder. The order goes in, it costs an extra, just like the Brits, another 2. So they try again to get up onto this high ground here. All right, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be 2d6. It's definitely going to get him up onto this position here, and now he will engage the Shermans. So using our periscope, let's see what we see here. Achtung, Panzers. There's the Shermans from the Panthers position. Okay, on the way. Okay, so it's a -2 all up. It is a superior gun. It's the Panther L70 75mm. Armor pen of 11, but they have moved. So that's a -1, and it's over 40 inches. It's 49, so that's another -1. So it's a -2 with a spotting dice. Okay, 4, it's a miss. But they did spot the Shermans. Right, the Shermans, will they respond? They'd have to dive into the battalion orders to do it, so no, they won't. He can't be given another order because he already has. The Germans are down to 3 now. So let's switch to the mortars probably. Well, Jerry's going to deploy off this combat patrol in the built-up area, and they'll put a platoon down just in here, and then yeah, they can fire upon those guys. So normally 6 down to 4 for the deployment, so it's 4 dice with a spotter from the edge of the village to these guys here. Not spotted and not a single hit, so that's that. The next thing the Germans are going to do is they're going to give an order to these guys to do a 3 dice rally. They passed 2, so they've got 1 shock on them. So now the mortars will call in a mission. They're going to have to dive into their battalion headquarter bank. So So they've used their last company order +1. So their HQ is now down to 4. And they're going to call in mortars on these guys. Accuracy. Yep, they're zeroed in. So it's 5 dice with a spotter. So they've spotted 1, 2. I've only rolled 3 hits and spotted. So these guys are going to be saving on 4+. They save 2, so they'll take 1 hit. So now we move into the regroup phase. The Brits are just going to move. They'll probably use their combat patrol here and their company commander. And we're not quite sure what the Germans will do just yet. Well, the company commander here, he's going to do a rapid move directly to his front, 10 inches. And he'll have caught up with this combat patrol here. And then the combat patrol over yonder is going to start moving in this direction here. Four inches. Well, the Germans have got nothing to do when we get in the regroup phase, so now we'll move on to turn 7 and we'll roll order dice. Here's the third bar. The Germans are now only rolling 8 dice. 8 orders each. Now initiative, and the Brits have got the initiative. I don't know if you get jabos rather than an artillery mission, that takes an artillery mission away, but I'm going to, based on my own experience, I'm going to assume that the Brits have not lost their artillery mission. They still have it because they didn't get the artillery mission. They got close air support. And the first thing the Brits are going to do is use consolidation and bring forward their armour into this area here. Now, that, however, may trigger an ambush because in this village is the German pack 50mm. So the Germans are going to attempt to spring an ambush with this pack. I think it's a pack 38, it's a 50mm gun anyway. So it's a standard gun, and they're going to try and engage the British armour as it's moving along to their consolidation point. So 3 plus, and they can. Okay, so they get their shot in first. All right, so it is a 7 to hit with a spotting dice. 4. Okay, so they've shot. Well, that's irrelevant. They need 7. Now the Brits can react to that as they're driving along, but they won't. They're just going to continue to their consolidation point. The British armour has arrived in their consolidation point. And that's where the pack 50 was, or still is for that matter. Okay, the next order is for the Firefly on the ridge to engage the Panther. It's a -1 because it's over 40. It's 49 inches. So it's 2 dice needing 8 with a spotting dice. And they've rolled 6, so they've missed. But before they shoot, the Germans are going to react fire. And it's exactly the same. It's, well, first of all, it needs a 4 plus to be able to engage. 5, so the German can engage. And he has got a hit, but it's unspotted. The pen quality of the German 75 is 11. The armor is 7. That's a difference of 4, but because it's a critical hit, it's a difference of 5. So the Brits are rolling with a -5 on the obscured table. So they're going to have to roll really, really well. Okay, so 5 from 8 is 3, and that is a, on the obscured table, I think that's going to be knocked out. Let's have a look. Obscured, 3 or less, it's 2 shock. Whoops. So it would have been even more unlikely that the Firefly would have hit. So the next order from the Brits is going to be to the Vickers, a rally and shoot. So let's see if they rally first. They do, so that's the shock off, and now they will fire. So normally they fire with 6 dice. I think if they've carried out a rally action, they might suffer. It's a -1, so it's 5 dice with a spotter. Spotted, 1, 2, 3. 3 hits. So the Germans are saving on 4 plus. Save 2. They're now 2 there. Next order will be this British platoon here is going to fire. And they're going to lob in their full 6 dice. They do have smoke, so I could advance with 1d6 popping smoke and then shoot, which I think they might do. So they'll go forward with 1d6. 5 inches, so that will get them to close range. Now, as soon as they step off, however, they are going to come under fire from the Germans in the village. The Germans are going to react fire, and they get it. So that's going to be 6 dice with a spotter. But actually, I think they lose dice because of the smoke. I'll just check. Yeah, so the Germans are going to lose 1 firepower dice, so they're going to be rolling 5 dice with a spotter. Not spotted. That one's cocked. They've only got 1 hit so far. 2 hits. 2 hits, and the Brits are saving on 3 plus. And they've saved them both. Good old smoke, good old 2-inch mortar. They are now within close range, so they will gain. So they'll lose 2 for movement, but they'll gain 1, so they're shooting with 5. 5 dice. And a spotter. Now, they're firing at them from the flank, so I should check to see if they get extra dice for flanking fire. No, but it's all up 6, close range 7, minus 2 for movement and 1 for shock, minus 3, so it's 7 down to 4 with a spotting dice. Spotted, 1 hit, 2 hit, again a cocked dice in the rough. Okay, 2 hits on the Germans, but they are only saving on 4s. And they've saved them both though. Okay. What next for the Brits? Well, over here, they're going to move this combat patrol in this direction. So the next order is to this combat patrol here, and they want to move to the very corner. 6 inches. Well, 6 inches gets them to that point there. Over here, this combat patrol is going to move into here. Ten inches. All right, so they're in here now. Now, do they discover an ambush in there? Let's have a look. Now, that little combat patrol in there is scouting. The Brits are the red dice. Okay, they rolled a 6. The Germans have rolled a 5. And they discover a platoon with an attached MMG. Okay, so that's revealing, so to speak. So that was another order that was used by the Brits out here. So now, how are the British going to respond to that? Well, they're going to deploy a combat patrol over here. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to call in mortars. So they're going to put a fire mission on these recently revealed Germans. Accuracy roll. 7, zeroed in, 5 dice. 5 dice, and the Germans will be saving on 4+. Oh, that's atrocious shooting. You would have thought there would be some splinter, so it's a single hit. And the Germans saving on 4. Yep, they save it. Jeez. Terrible shooting from the Brits. So now they'll deploy off this combat patrol with a platoon from Bravo Company and engage the Germans in the tree line. So that's 4 dice with a spotter. Not spotted and not a single hit. Alright. The Brits could dive into their orders pool, but they'll save them for reactions. So now it's the German turn. Okay, so the Panther is going to shoot at these Shermans again. It's a -1 because it's over 40. It's they need an 8 and a spotting dice. Oh, 10 again. This Panther is on fire, and this time they've spotted. So again, the Brits are going to be saving with a -5. Well, they've rolled a 12. So 12 -5 is a 7. A 7 even on the spotted. That was an amazing roll. 2 amazing rolls, actually. So that's a very good shot onto this Firefly here. Now, they're now damaged. So if it's a 1, 2, or 3, it's the Firefly that's been knocked out. Okay, so it's a standard Sherman that's been clobbered. So the Firefly is still in the fight. So the Germans are going to give a company order now. See how many extra it costs. Just another 1. And they are going to shoot again at the Firefly. Not spotted, but they have hit. Oh, they've rolled an 11. Okay, so an 11 -4 is still not enough. They take an additional point of shock, so another shock on a damaged tank, so that knocks the Firefly out. The next order for the Germans will, well, it's either get this platoon in here to fire, call in mortars, or it'll probably be the Pack 50 actually. They've got 3 orders left, so it'll probably be the Pack 50, then these guys, and then we'll round out with mortar fire. So we'll start off with the platoon in the village, shooting at them. 5 dice because of the smoke, with a spotting dice. Not spotted, 2 hits. The Brits are saving on 3+, and they've saved both. Next will be the mortars, and they're going to shoot. Ooh, they're going to shoot at these guys here. 7, they're zeroed in. Boom. 5 dice. The German, it seems like all the indirect fire support's gone to sleep. 1 single hit. The Brits are saving on 4. They didn't save that one, so they're up to 2. And finally, that pack. No, I keep on saying Pack 50. That 5cm anti-tank gun is going to have a shot at a Sherman. It's going to cost the Germans a headquarter order to do that, because I forgot that it was going to cost the mortars 2 orders, not 1, because the target that they're shooting at has actually moved, so it's a fresh target. So it's a Pack 50. So it's 7 and a spotting dice. Okay, they've hit. It's unspotted, but they've rolled an 11, so it will be critical. So let's compare the pair. It's a 7v7, but it's a critical, so it's an AP 8 versus the British Armour 7. So the Brits are going to be rolling on the obscured line with a -1. So that takes them to 5. A 5 is going to be, I think it's going to be damaged. Let's have a look. Obscured 5. Correction, 1 shock. Of course, I'm playing solo. 1, 2, 3. They were shooting at the Sherman Firefly section. 4, 5, 6, just the standard one. Okay, so just the standard, which, given the threat, this has more HE firepower than the Firefly section. So that does actually make sense as far as I'm concerned. So now we go into the regroup phase for the Germans. They're just going to do a 1 dice rally on these chaps here. And they rally down to only 1 shock now. For the Brits, they're going to deploy a platoon onto this jump off point and do a 1 dice rally on these guys over here. So these guys here first, okay, they've rallied, and then the platoon will go in on those guys there. So that ends turn 7, and we're now up to turn 8 and halfway through the game. So for turn 8 order dice, the Germans are only rolling 8, the Brits are rolling 9. Okay, 1. So both sides rolled double 1. So that means the Brits will have 7 and the Germans will have 6 orders. Initiative roll now, and the Brits have a plus 1. The Brits will be the red dice. 5 plays 5, but the Brits have 1 extra order, so the Brits have the initiative. So the Brits are going to start with the fire mission on these Germans in the woods. And it's 8, so they're zeroed in. So they're hitting with 5 dice, and the Germans will be saving on 4s. Only 2 hits. So the next order goes in will be these guys. The plan is a base of fire from these guys in conjunction with the indirect fire support, and then these guys here will assault in. So the Germans would attempt to interrupt them. So they'll need a 4+, and they fail. It's 6 dice with a spotting dice. Okay, so they're spotted, and they've got 1, 2, 3 hits, and so the Germans will be saving their 3 hits on 4+. So they've saved 2, but that 1 there will make them suppressed. Now, let's have a look. So that's 8 inches. So they need 7 on 2d6 to reach these Germans here. 7 exactly. Okay, so they'll go in. Now, obviously, these British infantry would shoot before they go in. That's why they only use 2d6. So I've done this slightly out of sequence, but 4 dice because they're moving. They are automatically unspotted because they're suppressed. 2 hits, and the Germans will be saving on 3+, and they save them both. But these guys are shooting as they go in, hurling grenades and using foul language. Now let's resolve the close combat. So it's 6 dice versus 3, because these are guys that are suppressed. So they would have had 4 all up because of the machine gun, but they have shock, so that goes back down to 3, and it's 2 for each of these. So it's 6 plays 3. No hits at all by the Germans. 1, 2, 3 hits by the Brits, which is kill roll, kill, a kill roll. So this will be the second kill roll for the Brits. No, they need a 5 or 6. So they've killed 1 squad. So they win outright. And so the Germans must retreat. Now, a roll of 102 will see the medium machine gun It's actually, it was the medium machine gun that's killed, not the infantry section. 3d6, and they retreat. Wow, 16 inches. Retreat sees these guys in here suppressed. Okay, so the next order is the Vickers shooting into these guys in here. 6 dice with a spotter. Spotted, 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 4 hits, Germans saving on 4+. Okay, they only made 1 save. So that's going to be 1, 2, kill, roll, kill. Sorry, 1, 2, kill, roll. So it's a kill roll on these guys here. And yep, that's another one gone. Is it the machine gun, 1 or 2? No, that's them, and that is the second foobar for the Germans. So here's the German roll for their foobar. Okay, so 1. The first guess by the Brits, no. The second guess, well, it's a 6. They can't guess the same number twice, or 3 times for that matter. Or 3 G's. No, okay. So, no additional issues for the Germans, except they're now down to 7 command dice. So they're down to a single section, or it's just the machine gun from the platoon. So they have to do a route test, and they have failed. So they're gone as well. To be completely fair, the German company commander could use his order to prevent the morale test being taken, the break test. But if he was to do that, he wouldn't be able to use his company order for something else. And quite frankly, these guys are a lost cause, because they still have these guys here to engage, and these guys here could close assault or shoot them up as well. So there's no point in wasting good orders on a lost cause. CHQ is going to deploy another combat patrol out to here. Could they do any more shooting? They can. Okay, so the next order to go in is on this Sherman, and it's going to shoot at the platoon, actually. And they're going to shoot into that village area, trying to knock out the 50mm pack. Now the German will attempt to opportunity fire first, and he gets it. He only needed a 3+, so he'll fire first. He needs a 7 to hit. It's 4. He has missed. So the shot's coming back. Normally it would be 5 and 4, but it'll be 4 and 3. Actually, I just noticed he's got shock, so he'll attempt to remove the shock first. 6, okay, he's got the shock off. So it'll be 3 and 3, because he did a rally. Unspotted, but 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Okay, so these guys are saving on 3+. Okay, they take 2, so they've got 2 shock on them. The company commander is going to give him an order to hit him again. It costs another 1. That's the last order going in. So this time it's 5 down to 4 and 4 down to 3. So 7 dice. The spotter, spotted. 1, 2. Okay, 2 hits. Germans are saving on 3+, and they've saved them both. The Brits are going to dive into their battalion orders, and they're going to spend 1 on these guys here, and they're going to move with 1d6 using smoke towards the village. They are carrying 2 shocks, so they're going to need to do a rally and move action, and they passed. Okay, 5 inches. Okay, so they're firing with a 2-inch mortar smoke as they advance forward. Predominantly that's to break the target lock from the FO onto them. Also gives them some smoke, and removes the shock from 2 down to
That
1.
ends the British phase, and now we go to the Germans.
Okay, so the first order is going to be the forward observer, and he's going to call in a fire mission on these guys here. So let's see how accurate he is. 6, it's harassing fire. 5 dice, hitting on 4s, 4 hits, and the Brits are saving on 3+. 1, 2, 3, 3 saves, so they go up to another shock. Okay, the Germans have got another order left, which will be these guys here, shooting at those guys there. They've got smoke. I probably should have taken one off for the smoke, but I think it only helps them for direct fire. Anyway, that's what we're going to go with. 5 dice and a spotting dice. Not spotted. 2 hits. The Brits are saving on 3+. And they save 1, but they are suppressed. That smoke is mighty useful. Leaves them 1 order, which they're going to do a rally and shoot at the tanks with the 5 centimeter pack. The rally, they're successful, so they're down to just 1 shock on them. And they will need, it's -1 plus the shock -2, so they'll need 9 plus a spotting dice to hit. They've rolled 9, but it's not spotted. So it's 7v7. The Brits, just a straight roll, and it's on the obscured table. Ooh, they've rolled 4 on the obscured. They might have had a tank damage. So now it's 2 shock. Odds it's the Firefly, even it's the M4. Odds the Firefly has 2 shock on it.
Now the Germans are going to dive into their HQ orders and get the Panther to have a shot at the M4 on the ridge line. So it's a spotting dice and 8 because it's over 40 inches. So it's a spotting dice and they need 8 on 2d6.
They've got 10. This Panther is red hot. And 10, it's a critical. So unless the Brit M4 rolls something spectacular, because it's 11v7, it's 12v7. It's a minus, yeah, okay. And another Sherman tank explodes. I could have dived into battalion or HQ orders and allowed this Sherman to do a react move, but I figured it probably would still have remained in the line of sight of the Panther. It would have probably only closed range. The other thing, of course, is they're down to 3. The loss of this Sherman is not going to change the outcome of the battle. It's probably all going to come down to these guys here now. If they can get an assault in on this village and clinch it by securing fubars, or even these guys over here. So yes, I had contemplated doing a reaction order with these guys. I thought, no, they need an 8+ to hit. Like the luck of the Panther had to give out sooner or later, so I thought, but apparently not.
Neither side are doing any regrouping, so moving on to turn 9. The Germans are down to 7 dice now because of the 2 fubars.
Turn 9. Okay. Well, the Germans have rolled 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they've got a hesitant company and 4 orders, and the Brits, well, they've got 1, 2, 3 6s. So that's going to bump up their battalion orders all the way to 6.
Germans will stay on 3 HQ orders
but they will have four standard orders. Which company is hesitant? 1, 2, 3 left, 4, 5, 6 right. Okay, this one over here is hesitant, which is simply that one platoon in the village. And I believe the Panther, because it's in that company sector. Okay, so now we'll roll for initiative. The British with a +3 on the red dice. 11 plays 7. British have the initiative. First order is going to be on these guys here. I'll deploy on the combat patrol. It's 14 inches. Yep, they'll shoot at those guys at -2 for the movement, -2 for the cover. The spotting dice with only 2 dice, but hey, why not? Unspotted, 1 hit. German saving on a 4. Sorry, on a 3. They save. All right, next, these guys here attempting to do. I'm pretty sure they had 2 shock on them. Attempting to do a rally and shoot. They rally. All right, so they've got 1 shock on them, and they're going to shoot at that pack. That 50mm. German 50mm will attempt to react shoot first. They only need 3+ because it's an anti-tank gun. They've got it, and so they will shoot first. Now they have shock on them. So that is a -1, or the +1 to hit, in other words. So normally they would hit on 7, so they need an 8. 8 with a spotting dice. Not spotted, and they've rolled a 6. So that that 5cm pack gun is they don't hit much. So now these guys complete their action. 2 for this guy, because he's losing 1 for the rally and 1 for the cover. 5 normally here, but he's losing 1 for the cover, so it's 2 and 4, it's 6 with a spotting dice. Spotted, 1, 2, 3, 3 hits, and so the Germans will be saving on 4+. They saved 1, so they're now up to 2 shock. So the next order for the Brits will go in here, and it will be a rally, actually a 3 dice rally. Try to get all that shock off them. They've got 1 shock off. Okay, so over here, these guys are going to be given a rapid move towards these guys here. Well, you can't get better than that. 11 inches, that gets them into contact. So they've pulled the ears back and they've gone and they're in. Okay, so the Brits have got 4 dice because they didn't shoot when they were going in. They're attacking a village. So they're normally at 6, they drop 1, 4. The Germans have got 3 squads in there. They do also have a company commander as well, actually. So that's another one for them. So it's going to be 4v4. Okay. The Germans are the black dice. Okay, so no hits at all by the Germans, and only 1 hit by the Brits. Okay, so that's a kill roll because those Germans are shocked up. Suppressed. Right. So a 5 or a 6 will do it. Okay. That's a squad knocked out. So the Germans will retreat 3d6. 11 inches. Well, that was a bit of a freak. The plan was that they were going to move up, company commander come forward, issue another order, then assault in shooting, but they've just gone straight in. These boys have just been kicking ass, and they've cleared out those Germans from there who are now back there. Right. And the Germans are only 2 squads away from their 3rd FUBAR and defeat. The Brits are 1 section away from their 1st FUBAR. The company commander now is going to give these guys another, actually, no. The Vickers will shoot 20 inches. They've got the range. So normally 6, but down to 4 because of the hard cover, with a spotting dice, and they're going to try and hit that pack 40. 6 spotted, 3 hits. The pack will be saving on 4+. Okay, so it's a suppression and a kill roll because they saved one of them. So 5 or 6. Okay, so they knocked out the pack. Now they're only 1 away. Last 2 orders for the Brits. Forward observer. They are actually within 50 inches. These chaps all the way back here. So accuracy 12. Okay, critical. Okay, so they're going to be rolling 6 dice, hitting on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits on these poor buggers down at the far end. Okay, so 4 hits on these guys, saving on 4+. Okay, they saved 1, but it'll be kill roll, kill roll. They don't get it. These guys here, they save on, okay, 2 hits. He can't take, anyway, it's all irrelevant. That's enough to be the Germans' 3rd FUBAR, and that is the battle. So that's a pretty decisive victory for the Brits. They've lost 2 tanks and 1 section of infantry out of this brain explosion that happened over here. What happened here is a classic example of what happens when the battalion commander is allowed to command the battalion without anybody, i.e. the operations officer, saying, hey, so what the hell do you think you're doing? I did that because I simply thought, okay, I can deploy here, I'll have the initiative, they'll advance and move that combat patrol out of the way. And I didn't have an operations staff saying to me, oh, I wouldn't do that, that is silly. And an entire section of men paid for my blunder with their lives. The Germans, on the other hand, basically an entire company destroyed here, virtually a company destroyed here, and the best part of the company destroyed over here. Man of the match had to be the German Panther. For the Brits, shared honours. I think the FO probably did the best job. But it has to be number 5 platoon from Bravo Company, who basically just steamrolled, took out a platoon there that was in ambush, captured the BUA, drove a platoon out, and then resulted in a cut-off mission, destroying those guys in the rear. I really love chain of command. I did like chain of command, brilliant set of rules. But for me, World War II combat, nothing comes close to O Group. You can formulate plans, you have phase lines, you lead with your company reconnaissance, establishing forward positions for you to deploy your platoons. You can use base of fire, shooting in assaults. Artillery can be used in a variety of tasks, neutralization missions, destruction missions, cut-off missions. It's really, really good. And armor does what it does and what it did, which was to provide shock action and to provide direct fire support for the real workhorses, which are the infantry. So that concludes our playthrough of O Group. Without a doubt, I've probably made some errors there with the rules, but it's been a long time since I've played a game of O Group. But it did reinforce why I like these rules so much. It's also worth noting
The Brits didn't need to deploy their reserve company at all during this battle, which is a pretty good indicator that everything went pretty much to the British plan, and things just didn't go the Germans' way. So, like, share, subscribe, leave comments if you're so inclined, and I will catch you on the next one. Yippee.